Carrier offload is a real hot topic here at PCIA, and with good reason. We are at an era now where we have explosive growth, not only in the numbers of devices that are out there, but in the kinds of applications and data-driven experiences that are really driving what's going to happen in the next generation. You hear a variety of standards being discussed, how carriers want to approach dealing with higher capacity. How do they deal with the ability to support all of these devices, but more importantly, how to support all these applications? Carrier offload is one of the tools that the carriers find very appealing because it allows for them to be able to make better use of the LTE spectrum that they have by taking a lot of the heavy payload data applications, data intensive applications such as download, such as streaming, and move it into a more natural environment for data, which is where Wi-Fi comes into play. This really drove for us a lot of the relationships that we have now with the carriers. And we have relationships with carriers both in the US as well as internationally that center around the ability to be able to take their traffic and leverage the Wi-Fi infrastructure, the smart networks, if you will, that we've deployed in most of our venues across the country. And so what we've seen from the early trials in working with the carriers is very positive results. The ability to be able to seamlessly move from a cellular phone experience to being able to move that traffic to data without the user even being aware that that traffic's being moved is paramount to the experience. And we've found very positive results in the early trials with this. But today we've got millions of subscribers that have been enabled with this capability. And it's really driven around the Passpoint standard. Boingo's pioneer in Passpoint. We clearly have been driving this both within the Wireless Broadband Alliance, WBA, as well as supporting the WFA, the Wi-Fi Alliance, in their efforts to be able to drive from a device perspective the support for this next generation of hotspot experience. The end result for consumers is going to be very positive. It's going to continue to be able to give them the kinds of application support, the kinds of video support, the kinds of data support that they need in an environment that allows them to have that same freedom to use the phone for what they want to use it for, which would be voice, it would be texting, it would be data applications. The end result, what we expect is going to happen in the future is there's going to be a variety of standards that are going to come into play here. You're going to see the advent of using unlicensed spectrum, the advent of being able to use new frequency bands that the FCC is opening up. This really creates a very dynamic environment, which I think that one of the most positive things that we've seen being a Wi-Fi operator and a Wi-Fi service provider is that marriage between the devices which are controlling a lot of this kind of interaction and what's happening with the carriers in terms of a recognition that they can't build a network that can support all of these capabilities. I think that we're finding that that there's a really good space that we're in right now where we have that kind of marriage that's going to drive ultimately a great customer experience.